Okay, what is upstream? Today we are back finally streaming. Let me just add this to my queue. Last time we streamed was a while ago, 12 days ago, when the new season released. Anyways, let me just turn on my lights. Anyways, we're back. It was pretty long time I didn't stream because it's like end of school. I had finals, all that stuff. I was pretty busy, but now it is officially summer break. Yesterday was my last day of school, so we're going to be streaming so much this summer. And I guess let's just start off the stream / summer with watching this video, ranking all 41 evolutions from worst to best. I might just like skip through this video.
Collect one of 7 legendary cups with the FIFA World Cup meals. See mcdonalds.ca for qualifying meals.
Where is he? 10 seconds before the whistle, and you think this is a good time to...
Today we're ranking all 41 evolutions in Clash Royale from worst to best. Coming in last place is the Ice Spirit. Again, the Ice Spirit is just very pointless.
Agree with it. It's like 2 cycles. I feel like if they made it 1 cycle, it would be really good. But I think it's just like too weak because it's only a 1 elixir card, so they can't make it like too strong or else it'd be overpowered. But it's also not the worst Evo. Well, because it was good back in the day when it was, you know, one of the only Evos. But now there's so many other options that the other options are just better than it. Like, it's not bad, but it's not the best. There's just better options you can choose.
Use as an evolution because the normal Ice Spirit is really good, and there's so many ones that give you so much value that you're just sitting here going, why would I ever play an Ice Spirit when I could play something that's so much better? And the normal Ice Spirit is already one of the best cards in the game. It's a no-brainer to just skip this Evo. Now, interestingly enough, Dark Goblin actually got buffed. So it being this bad is really interesting. But over the last week in Ultimate Champion, it has a whopping 47% win rate and 2% use rate. Barely anybody is using it, and barely anyone is winning with it. Now, the main reason for this being the normal Dark Goblin is really good. So if I have a really good card, I'm not going to get him a little bit better by using the Evo. I would rather have a card that's not as good turn into a really good card with a different choice of evolution. Since you can only have 2 in a deck, it's really important that the 2 you have are actually impactful, and the Dark Goblin most of the time is impactful just as a normal card. I'm not going to lie, P.E.K.K.A. isn't even that good right now, like as a normal standard card. So if P.E.K.K.A. isn't that good, then getting an Evo that heals it like at maybe like 500 HP per use isn't worth it at all. Usually, whatever you use to counter a P.E.K.K.A. will counter both the normal P.E.K.K.A. and the Evo P.E.K.K.A. The Evo P.E.K.K.A. doesn't really stand out. Again, impactfully, it doesn't really do anything, just like the Ice Spirit, even though sometimes it'll heal off of thick units. The P.E.K.K.A. really doesn't do anything, and it's not even that amazing in the meta on top of that. Now, Goblin Giant did get a small buff, but he's still one of the worst Evos in the game. The fact of the matter is he doesn't have much health, so he doesn't really have much time for his goblins to spawn anyways, and most of the time it's not going to be much of a problem, especially since Goblin Giant decks aren't even in the meta to begin with, and the people who do use them, shout out to like this guy Paxton, I think he uses it, but outside of that, I haven't seen a single person use this card, so if nobody's using it, nobody's going to use the Evo. So, one of the worst evolutions to ever
Goblins are like, I don't even know what happened. I remember it got like buffed, and then it was like good, and then it got nerfed again.
the history of my ranking videos is still in like the bottom 5 or 6. It was just sad because it had like a 2-month period where it was like actually really good. And let's just say a nerf, Hero Bowler, Hero Dark Prince, and the meta countering drill don't really help it. And that's pretty much all there is for the Goblin drill. I honestly want to let this one stick a little longer before I say that we need to give it a buff, right? But it's a card to me that when testing it looked really solid, and then I realized like it's good in certain matchups, but being good in certain matchups isn't good enough to warrant you an Evo spot. Like, we have 41 Evos fighting for spots in a Clash Royale deck at any given moment, and the Princess doesn't have enough impact consistently, and also isn't in enough decks. She's kind of only in bait decks, and when you're looking at bait decks, you're going, I need the Barrel Evo as a given, and the other one, is it gonna be Evo Skarmy?
Skelly Barrel.
Usually it's something more impactful than the Princess currently is. I don't know if that means she needs a buff, but right now she's really bad statistically, and honestly, she meets the eye test too. But a lot of matchups, she just dies instantly or behaves like a normal princess. Barbies, honestly, again, all of the Evos at the bottom of the list, you can make arguments for, hey, they do something sometimes, because not all of them are the worst thing ever, right? But Barbs, again, the impact thing, the biggest thing that I see with the top Evos is the card is normally here and the Evo puts it here. When you have the Barbs, they're like, okay, they're on the floor, and then they get a little bit better when you have the Evo because they do a little more damage and attack faster. They're really not worth it. If you want to suffer and play Barbs, just play normal Barbs and save yourself an Evo slot. Time to show some true magic. The Hero Wizard is a million times better, even though I'd rather
just use the Hero Wizard.
Face the Evo Wizard than the Hero Wizard. That's just personally based on the matchup. To me, the Evo Wizard is annoying as hell to kill, but in a lot of matchups, he doesn't end up being that impactful. The shield is like...
Yeah, and Hero Wizard, for 1 elixir, you can make him fly up into the air and shoot tornadoes. Like, you know what I mean? It's just so much better than the Evo.
You can still work your way around unless you're running Fireball Zap, which is a really specific spell combo. Most of the time, the Wizard isn't just getting good enough value as a 5 elixir base card to be worth having the Evo in your deck. So although he's... And also he doesn't have a place in like almost any meta deck except maybe some versions of Giant Sparky that run the Evo instead of the Hero. But honestly, Wizard's just not very impactful.
Okay, let's see. Let's just go to his top 10.
He's full because the
Wendy's new pickle
So
menu
do
is
not
a
want to
collab with
see.
me. Bill Pickle! Canada's best pickler, and the GOAT of all pickle menus. Iconic. The classic chicken and the spicy. Look at all those pickles on there! Come on! Wendy's new pickle menu is served.
Before the bright lights.
There were porch lights. And before we believed in ourselves, there were people who believed in us.
pressure is adding that extra damage.
Okay, Royal Ghost. I would say it's pretty good. Definitely not what it used to be. It got so many nerfs. But, you know.
Elixir trades. Not only
Goblin Cage, really good. It's only 1 cycle. So, you know, it makes it a lot better.
Really oppressive because you can kind of just cage and force people to play into it. You also are able to back up your push with a little bit of a mini P.E.K.K.A. And also, if you don't get rid of the cage, one, the cage is spell baiting by you having to be forced to get rid of the cage, but also if you don't get rid of the cage, he's going to add up a ton of extra elixirs.
Also, when you do get rid of the cage, then you have to worry about the Goblin Brawler. So it's very... I think it's just a good card because it, like, is so good for how much elixir it costs. Right, if the Goblin Brawler was a 4 elixir card, it would be an okay card. But because it's like a building, and then you destroy it, and then it's like a card, it makes it really good.
Against your win conditions, or honestly against anything. Evo Cannon, still really good. Great knockback, very solid damage, very talented against a bait meta, and honestly the Tesla nerf only just helps this card get better. It's been consistent. It honestly necessary and help you in cannons right now, but I think it's just because
Zap.
it's a pretty
Yeah, I would say
like
in the decks it is really good. The only thing is that I think that's one thing is that normal Zap is like worst spell in the game. Like Log and Barbarrel and Goblin Curse and like Rage are kind of better because they all kind of do the same thing. But like Evo Zap makes it good.
what is the word I'm looking for? It's a card that fits in a lot of different decks. And it has a lot of interactions where you pair it with a different spell and you're going to be able to kill different troops. Honestly, just having the card as it is going to be good against like bait decks. It's going to be good against like Princess, Rascals, Dark Goblin, Minions. It's good against so many different decks. Fits in so many different decks. And I don't think it's as good as Evo Snowball, but has slightly better stats than Evo Snowball as far as usage rate goes. Now, Skelly Barrel has been nerfed, but is still a very strong card. Its impact damage is very good. It spawns a ton of skeletons. It's cheap.
I think that's the one thing about Skeleton Barrels is one of those Evos that just like makes the card like enhances what the card already does. Kind of like Zap, where it's like, you know, it resets things, it deals a little bit of damage, but then it deals more damage and resets things a second time. With this one, it's just like 2 skeleton barrels. So it's like, of course, if they have log, they can just log all of the skeleton barrels. But if they don't have log, then it's twice as threatening.
Easy to cycle, and it fits in bait decks that are really oppressive in the meta right now. Overall, this is one of the best Evos in all of Clash Royale. Now, Snowball is currently being used about 2% less than the Zap is, but I do think the Snowball's impact is usually bigger than the Zap's impact because it is...
I just think normal Snowball is like better than Zap. Yeah.
Complete defensive bailout. It's honestly not used,
But it just goes well with so many win conditions like Graveyard, Drill, Miner, Defense, like.
Now, I'm surprised. The Snowball is really, really good right now with Jill not even being that good in the meta. So
Yeah.
that's, I think, another key that points to Snowball being one of the best Evos in the game. Snowball, very effective. It is a defensive bailout card. You're going to be able to mess up your defense and just get out of it with an Evo Snowball. You're going to be able to get good locks.
Yeah, it's also good in building.
Evo Snowball, very, very good card right now. The Evo Battle Ram, even though bridge spam decks have changed, like as to why we kicked the Lumberjack out of bridge spam decks and so far down the list,
It just like adds so much threat to the battle ram because a normal battle ram, if you don't kill it, it'll just like pop out the barbarians on your tower. It'll deal damage, but you can just like tank the damage. But with Evo battle ram, it keeps hitting your tower until you kill it, and then it pops out the barbarians still. So it's just kind of like crazy.
Battle Ram does not get taken around or out. You build your decks around the Evo Battle Ram. It is such a strong card. It's going to be able to kill swarm things, push normal counters out of the way, and be able to connect for massive damage.
Yeah,
especially
look at
behind
that.
the tank. The Battle Ram changes entire games and can win you, honestly, entire games by yourself. It is really, really, really strong. And honestly, I'm happy to see that there's been, you know, love for some of the Evos that used to be really bad and have started to get really good. The Evo Battle Ram is very hard to counter and honestly is the staple of many bridge spam decks in the meta. Now, I don't really think that anything outside of like completely removing the card will knock the Valkyrie down too much. She's brilliant on offense because she's going to pull things into her. She's brilliant on defense because she's going to pull things into her. Not only does she do very good damage, she does
Just counters so many win conditions. And it just like, she's another one of those Evos that just like makes what she does really good. Because she has a bunch of splash. So then when she pulls things into her splash range, then she can just kill
The
everything.
bonus damage with the NATO, she's going to be able to clear out swarms, and she fits in so many different decks. Valkyrie is ubiquitously a top 3 card in the game. I don't think I used that word properly. Evo eye drag, even after the nerf making it a fully charged for 2
Yeah.
less seconds.
It's just in certain, it just shuts down certain deck types. Mostly.
Dominating the meta right now, because if you don't have the right answer at the right time,
Yeah.
you can have the right answer but not have it at the right time, you're going to get shafted by the Evo Inferno Dragon, because it is, I mean, honestly, it's hard to cycle to sometimes, but it is always going to get more than 4 elixirs worth of value, and it almost always forces you to play something that you maybe wouldn't want to play, or it makes you really predictable. So you're going to be able to counter, or your opponents are going to be able to tell what you're going to have to do for it, and honestly, get so much value. It's really hard to deal with, and the eye drag is oppressive in several different decks. Beatdown decks, XE freeze decks, and speaking of the forbidden devil himself, the Executioner. I don't just say this because I get absolutely destroyed by Executioner every time I play on stream, which you probably know. The Executioner is sitting at, right now in the top 200, 35 usages, which, yes, is a 17% usage rate. This is mind-boggling. He is the #1 most used Evo in the game right now in all of Ultimate Champion, and for good reason. Single-handedly shreds any type of push, is impossible to kill, and is the single most intimidating card in the entire game. I hate him with a passion, and you should too. I honestly, like, if you have a different opinion, you're wrong.
Okay, there we go.
Collect
So,
7.
yeah, I feel like that was a pretty good list. Oh, there's my stream right there. Is there any other graveyard? Is there any other videos that we want to watch? Ooh, we could add this to watch later. Ooh, ask 1,000 gamers their most underrated purchase. We can watch this.
Most gaming gear is a waste of money, so I asked.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Most gaming gear is
Is there any? Okay, I don't think my keyboard's here. But that might be my mouse. If that's
a
texture.
waste of money, so I asked over 1,000 gamers what their most underrated purchase was, and I went through every answer myself. Most of them were boring, but a few cheap things kept showing up again and again. So in this video I'm going to show you all of them, starting with the cheapest one, and I'm talking about mouse cades. Now those are the little things on the bottom of your mouse, and most people never touch them. You just run with whatever came in a box and never think about it again. Now to be honest, I always thought this was like the sweaty nerd stuff, like only the tryhards bother peeling off their skates to put new ones on. But somewhere along the way I tried a set, and now to be honest I got like 10 boxes of dot skates from every brand you can think of, because once you feel it you can't really go back. And if you're on a glass pad, this isn't even optional. The stock skates on most mice sound and feel just like awful on glass, and they scratch almost instantly. A proper set fixes that on day one, but just know that they wear down faster on glass, so you'll swap them every few weeks. But one last thing before you buy, how they feel depends a lot on your pad, so it's less about grabbing the most expensive ones and more about matching them to what you've already got. But good skates only matter if the surface under them is right, which of course is the mousepad, and this showed up a lot in the answers. Now, curious enough, most people just want bigger, one of those XL pads that take most of your desk, and a lot of them said the same thing, basically that they couldn't believe how much nicer it felt than a normal pad, because they had like more room for big flicks, your whole arm on one surface instead of like half of the desk, and it just feels cleaner overall. Now back when I used an XL pad, I actually kept it under my main mousepad and keyboard, not to game on on it just because it was like softer on my wrist when you're sitting there for like hours. Now for the mouse itself, I always had like a separate pad on top, usually like an artisan or like a glass pad. And glass is the one I want to push back on a little, because the internet talks about it like it's a cheat code. In the response is like a bunch of people say something in the lines of once you try it you can't really go back. And yeah, it's fast, really consistent, but it's not the upgrade everyone makes it out to be. It's super loud, especially when you catch like dust particles on it. It feels hard and cold under your hand, and for some
I think
people,
that's one thing is I'd rather get glass mouse skates than a glass mouse pad. If you know what I'm saying.
it's almost too slick, so you actually lose control instead of gaining it. And yeah, you also need like a gaming sleeve. Now for myself, I love it, but I never tell someone it's automatically better than a good cloth pad. It's just like super different. Don't buy it because the internet hyped it, buy it if the speed is the thing you're missing, and especially if you play like heavy tracking games. And another thing to not get fooled by though, like a giant printed desk mat is not the same as a real gaming pad. Those big aesthetics one look like super cool, but they're soft, so your mouse kind of sinks in and the glide gets like heavy and uneven. It looks super good for like an aesthetic gaming setup, bad for aim though. But a clean mouse on a good pad only gets you so far, because there's something sitting above all of these that decides how the whole setup feels. And that thing is the monitor stand. And the fix that kept coming up was the monitor arm. Now most people think they need like a bigger desk, they don't. Their monitor stand is just hitting like half of that space. Those stock stands have like these wide feet that just take up a bunch of room. And the monitor sits in one fixed spot whether you like it or not. Now a monitor arm clamps to the back edge, the whole base disappears, and you get all of that space back. Then of course you can push the screen back, pull it forward, tilt it, raise it, whatever you want. Now this sounds like minor until you actually use one, and then your desk kind of feels twice as big for like 30 bucks. Of course there's one thing you have to check first though, because this is where a lot of people mess up. A lot of cheap desks aren't like solid inside. They're basically like thin board with a cardboard honeycomb in the middle, basically like the version of American houses. They hold weight fine when it's spread out, but the monitor arm puts all that pressure on one tiny clamp point. So on a cheap desk, that clamp can actually crush the surface or punch straight through it. Now the fix is super easy though, you just like get a flat metal or wood plate under the clamp to spread the force and you're fine. And that's everything you see and touch sorted. The mouse, the pad, the screen. But the next one isn't about any of that. It's about what you hear, and this is where gamers waste the most money. So the audio answer that kept coming up wasn't the headset at all, it was the IM. Basically those in-ear monitors that seal inside your ear. A bunch of people basically said the same thing. Once you get like a pair of 25 bucks IMs, everything sounds completely wrong. One guy got a pair of 25 bucks and said the sound quality was honestly too good for the price. And the first time you actually play with a decent pair, it kind of clicks instantly. Footsteps sit in a clear spot, so you can tell basically if someone is below you, behind you, off to the side, without that muddy wall of bass a gaming headset throws at you. Now a lot of people also pair them with a DAC, which is like the little adapter that turns the digital audio from your PC into the signal your IMs actually play. And there's like two reasons people brought up that combo makes sense. The cable on most IMs is pretty short, so it doesn't really reach your PC comfortably, and a DAC sits on your desk as a middleman and gives you the length. It also cleans up the sound because your PC has noisy electronics inside, so you lose the listening and get more details. Of course, IMs aren't like magical, you get that pinpoint surgical placement of sound, but you give up the big wide soundstage you'd get from like open over-ear headphones. So for movies or just like sitting back with music, over-ears still feel nicer. For hearing exactly where someone is in a game, IMs just win like 10 out of 10 times. And this is basically the whole thing with IMs. A $25 pair will do 99% of the job, so you don't really need to waste a lot of money here. And speaking of cheap stuff, most
I might actually
people...
get some IEMs. Maybe once I get a job and make some money. I mean, I do have enough money to probably buy some IEMs, especially like cheap ones, like he's saying. So you can get them for like $25. But because the headset I have at my mom's house is like pretty bad. But I think maybe instead of upgrading it to a better headset, I could just buy a pair of IEMs. So that way I can have like both. So, you know, for just like watching YouTube and chilling on like Discord or whatever, playing games casually, I can just use my headset. But then if I want to like game, I could use IEMs.
sleep on, there's a couple more worth grouping together before we get to the winner. First is the arm sleeve. I used to think these were like pure esport stuff, like guys watching one pro player wear a sleeve and buying it just to feel like more competitive. But a few people pointed out the actual reason, and it's annoyingly simple. In summer or anytime your room gets humid, your forearm sticks to the pad, especially if you have like a glass pad. And a cheap sleeve will just remove the whole randomness and inconsistency. And I also know like a bunch of people say that they can't wear this because they look cringe. Like my brother, you're alone in your room playing a game. No one cares how you look. And if you even care that much, maybe you just like have other problems in your life that you're too insecure about, so fix those first maybe. Second one is the mouse bungee. It's just like super useful to have, especially if you still use like a wired mouse. And speaking of cables, this brings me to the next item on the list. And I'm talking about cable management. Once you get like a mouse, keyboard, monitor, a DAC, maybe even like a mic, you've got like 6 cables hanging off the back of your desk in a tangled mess. A little tray that mounts under the desk takes like 10 minutes and the whole thing disappears. So that's the full list from the survey, but before I tell you the one thing that got picked the most, here are my personal favorite things that are outside of this list. First for me is height adjustable desk with cable management built into the frame. For me, I use the Secret Lab Magnus Pro, and this generally is my favorite thing in my whole setup. You dial the height exactly right for your arms, and when the desk goes up and down, the cables go with it. So there is like zero mess underneath. This was basically one of the biggest changes that I did in my setup in the last year. And the last one that isn't even on the survey is a key light. And this is that little panel light people use for filming, but I keep one on my desk just for like the lighting space. And this is super cool because I can also adjust the temperature and it feels like I'm outside. And it makes the whole setup feel way more put together. But the one thing that ties all of this together and the one thing that got picked the most in this survey is the monitor arm. That's the one thing I tell everyone to get first. It's cheap, instantly makes your desk feel twice as big, and once you actually use it, you can never really go back to like a normal stand. So over 1,000 answers, that's basically how it went. Almost nobody named the expensive stuff. The expensive gear lost to a $10 set of skates and a $30 arm. So I'm actually curious, what's the cheap thing you defend to death? Or the expensive thing you regret?
Yeah. Okay.
Should you buy the Rogue Bundle? On the day this came out, I reviewed it and gave it a 2.5 out of 5. And now that some time has passed, does that still reign true? Let's start with the good. It does really capture that tactical feel of Recon, Phase Guard, and Protocol. This feels very snappy to use and very accurate. The finisher is very fun, striking a balance between minimalistic and exciting, with drones that you could shoot or jump into, which is also cool. Now let's talk about the bad with these skins. The variants are pretty weak, they all look similar besides the white variant, and the A sound is almost identical to Overdrive. But worse than all of that is the price of this bundle. Nothing about this is exclusive edition in my opinion. I do stand by my rating of 2.5 out of 5, and if this were premium edition price, this would easily be a 4 out of 5 because this is a good skin. If you do want to buy something like the Vandal, then I can kind of recommend it if you do have the money to spend. But if you want more value for what you get, I would stick to a premium edition bundle. I recently bought every Friday the 13th movie in a box set for $70, which is way less than this bundle costs, which is insane. But what do you think? Should you buy the Rogue Bundle? On the day this came out, I reviewed it and gave it a 2.
And the knives look really bad. On Fortnite Mobile.
Everyone wants to get their first earnings in Fortnite, and with the new mobile series format, it has never been easier to do it. But here's the thing, most players are approaching this the wrong way entirely, and it's costing them points that they should never be losing. In this video, I've broken down everything from your very first drop in opens all the way to what it actually takes to qualify for a heat and lock in a guaranteed $100. Let's start with the format. Before anything else, you really need to understand what you're actually playing. Mobile series is no longer in Blitz. It's now a modified version of Reload running the smaller Blitz map. The zones compressed to squeeze games into around 8 minutes each, with only 16 players needing to fill a whole lobby. To get earnings, you need to finish top 64 in your regions open, with your placement determining which of the 4 heats that you're placed into. If you get top 4 in your heat, you're in qualifiers, and top 2 or 3 in qualifiers gets you through to the group stage. For first time earners though, the real target is simple. You gotta make it to heats. That alone will guarantee you a minimum of $100 no matter the region you're in. You have a 75
This has 120 FPS on mobile. He must have like a gaming phone.
It's a game, only 64 of those minutes are ever actually spent in match at maximum. This makes one thing critical, and this is something that all the pros have been doing: late start. Mobile Series uses the same elo system as solo victory cash cup, and by starting 8 to 12 minutes late, I wouldn't go past 15, or you risk not finishing your last game, you drop into the lowest possible elo bracket, which means dramatically easier lobbies you can W key for big points. One important difference from solo cash cups though is that dying off spawn here is brutal. A bad game doesn't just cost you a slot, it actively prevents you from recovering points later because of the elimination cap that they have. If you can tell a game is going south, try to time your death right before reboots end. That way, you respawn with the best weapons in the loot pool and can drop into someone's bush to get a kill and stay alive. It's also important to mention that there's no region lock in this entire event. You have 7 attempts across all regions to make top 64. That means EU players can run OCE, Asia, Middle East, and Europe back to back, and NA players can stack Brazil, NA Central, and NA West if you want to stay within the same hemisphere, so that way you're not playing in the early hours in the morning. Now that you understand the format and the advantages you have at hand, let's go into your drop. Most players go into this thinking that they should land the edges of the map. The reality of Mobile Series is that the map is so compressed that it's not about where on the map you land, but it's about which specific building you're landing in. On top of that, because of how aggressively Epic has tuned these zones to hit 8 minutes, the entire edge of the map is practically outside zone 1 second after you drop. If you land out there and can't find white heals immediately, you're getting fried on your rotation out. The best approach is to jump into 6-stack no-fill blitz and get a feel for every major POI. Find the one that works for your playstyle, but if you can fight off spawn or are comfortable switching drops mid-tournament when needed, Pleasant is the strongest area on the map right now. Nearly every zone pulls towards Pleasant, Lazy Labs, or the taco spot right above it, which means landing there guarantees easy rotation. It also happens to be a great farming spot for kills, since players consistently respawn above Pleasant near the water as long as it's in zone. Camp a rooftop and the red dot SMG will practically farm kills for you. For those of you who do struggle off spawn though, Retail Row is probably your spot. It has the second most chests of any POI and gets consumed by the zone in virtually every single game, which keeps most players away from it. If you do get contested, there are 2 nearby deviations that are really easy to bail to. Analyzing Doggy, one of the best players who qualified in nearly every heat, he consistently doesn't push into zone to start fighting until after the 4th zone closes. Playing zone isn't always wrong, just make sure you're tracking storm damage closely, because unlike standard VR, the blitz reload storm goes 2-tick within a couple of minutes and hits 5-tick shortly after. The moment that reboots end, it jumps to 10-tick. You'll need white or mixed heals on hand to be able to tank it, and Storm Sickness is still active here. So watch the total amount of damage you're taking. It should be no more than 500 because that's usually when Storm Sickness will start. Wherever you drop though, your next job is to optimize your loot path until it's basically muscle memory. The faster that you're able to loot, the faster you can claim a position and start tagging players who are rotating late. Use Osirion or Fortnite GG to plot out the exact path, then grind it in practice until you're hitting 0 mistakes. This is what separates the players who barely qualify from the ones qualifying in every heat.
Okay, we're launching Fortnite now. Anyways. I guess we'll just play some ranked. Oh, Gummy Hours live. Bro, I haven't even collected a single sprite this season. What? Battle Royale build rank solo. Yeah, it says I'm unranked? No, this can't be right. What? Did you just remove my rank? What about reload? Oh, okay, I think it's glitched because now it says I'm silver 3, even though it should be elite 1. Yes. Bro, when's Lego Fortnite gonna get a new update? I don't play it much, but when they do have big updates, I like hop on. Cause I'm pretty sure I have a world that's like pretty maxed out. It's a pretty fun game though. Okay, because I don't know why this is being weird. Although I think if I was a casual player and I didn't play like just ranked in like tournaments, I think the sprite collecting would be a really fun thing that I would like grind and look forward to with all the like events and stuff. It kind of feels like steal a brain rot. I think that's probably what happened in the like Fortnite, like, you know, Fortnite is looking at what's popular and they see, oh, steal a brain rot's popular, and then they started making a like season based on steal a brain rot. Steal a brain rot was like last year, right? I don't know when, but I think it was pretty sure it was last year. Oh wait, yeah, this is actually the strat. Is to go over a mountain so you can enter free fall earlier. This guy's contesting me and he got the gun. Oh, I'm actually lagging. How is someone already here? Is there 2 people in here? No way, that was such a bad edit. How do I fetch the results? I don't know what's happening with the like rank. Because it isn't like showing me. Got all the lights on. Yeah, I don't know. My FPS is super low right now. Duos rank cap before. No, what? I do not want. No, I did. Yeah, I just don't know. Because it feels like now, the second that summer's started, I feel like there's no good games to play anymore. Like, I feel like all the updates were like a week or 2 ago. You know what I mean? Like, now it's like I've already played all the updates and stuff. So now there's nothing to do because Fortnite season was out for like a week. Like 2 weeks or more. But you know what I mean? It's like, why didn't they all release like this weekend? And then we have like new fresh stuff that I can try. Also, they actually just need to fix the thing. Banana. Nothing? Okay, where is the gun? Also, think I need to fix the fact that some couches don't drop gold. No, I can't get through that. No way! He's at 8 HP. No way. And then it just doesn't update my rank. Oh. 2 games that last one. It's just so annoying because I like want to stream, but when I stream, it like takes so much of my like PC power. Cause yeah, see, it says I'm Elite 1, 18%. But then when I go here, it says I'm unranked. Like what? It says Unreal. Oh, you can see when their last match play was. Ranked ballistic? It isn't even in anymore. OG ranked. Oh, did this also get discontinued? OG ranked 0 above. Reload. No ranked. Oh yeah, Unreal Legend. How many is it? Top 500? Yeah, top 500. Oh, this guy's actually tied. Yep, yeah, yeah. What did you get like last season? Unreal. Average elimination 6. No stats. No stats. No stats. Bronze 3. Champion 3. No stats. No potato. Because wait, this is the first season with the new Unreal rank, new Unreal Legend. Like, look at my FPS. I'm getting like a high of 120. Is my FPS capped at 120? It's 240. That's 140. I think that's actually just the strat, is just to deploy your glider instantly. And then just free fall? Maybe? Wait, can I get into this window? No. Yeah, but the Warforged they are killed me last game. Yo, do you want a gift? Sure, man. I'm always open to getting gifts. Okay, cool. This is a good house because it gives you 50 shield instantly. Yeah, I'm definitely picking up the pistol. After what happened last game. I don't know about the Flex SMG. I think it's in a weird spot where it's like in between. That was really bad at it. Oh, I thought he would run out of ammo. He's just camping in there. And it doesn't even tell me my rank, bro. That's the thing about ranked is that, like, playing it after like 2 weeks after the season's gone. Like, I was getting like, oh, new seasonal grind ranked. I grind it for a while. And then it's like, yeah, and it went down like 11%. It's weird how it shows me my rank here, but it doesn't show me my rank here. Like after 2 weeks of the season, like there's a shift in like the players. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, you know. Also, that's the thing is like the first week or two, this drop spot, the like Sunken Shores, I'm pretty sure it's called, was like fairly quiet. No one really landed here. But now it's like crazy. I don't know what house I want to like land. I guess just there. On the inner edge. I also need to buff this thing. I think the idea is cool. It's just like such a gimmick. It's like, why can't all of the shots? I think they should buff it to where the first shot that you shoot is the most zoomed in, and then it just goes more zoomed in from there. Because the last shot is actually pretty decent. It's kind of like the combat. But like the first two shots are like way too wide. Is there any good like landmarks I can land? But I also don't want to like land at a landmark. I just want to land at a POI. And just be able to get killed. There's a Fox SMG. Okay, pop these minis. Get that. Slurp barrels. I think I'd rather use this. But they actually just need to like buff visualize sound effect. Okay. Is this chest 100%? Oh, hold on. But I don't know where to take the Maven or the standing focus. I think probably the Maven. Just because they can still hit fairly hard. Yeah, 7 sliders. I don't know about the 7 sliders. I feel like they're okay, it's just that like people can hear you from so far when you're using them. Like the visualized sound effect range on it is so big. I think it's like 100 meters or something. I wish there was a way to like toggle them off. Because like sometimes I don't want to like slide super far. Like when I don't want to use them. I don't want to use them. And chests. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the Easter egg quickly. Good. Repair the water pumps. These trees give you so much wood. Okay, and there we go. Repair this. Repair the water tower. And then we make a wish. Purple shotgun, nice. And we also get 150 gold back. Wait, do beds just now give you 200 gold consistent? Yeah, they might have changed it. Because beds used to be able to give you 200 gold. That one just gave me 9. That's not what I wanted. Why are these not harvested? Okay, they actually need to stop making rocks that you can't break. Because they've been doing it for like chapters. So just let me harvest my mouth. Did they also buff the 7 sliders? Recently. And I wonder what they're gonna do with the sprites, because now they have like galaxy ones, I think. But are they just gonna make? Are they gonna keep adding variants? Because they already have like normal gummy in Galaxy. So they keep gonna keep adding more ones that are like rare and rarer. Oh yeah, because you're gonna slide pretty far. Shooting over here. What was that? Was someone flying over my head? There's a fight going on over here. We just died. Yeah, I kinda just wanna use the 0 point. I just want to go buy some more boots. Where's the vending machine? I could honestly third party this. Yeah. I'm just trying to re-harvest, so I'm gonna be low on that. I don't want to like push these guys. Maybe he'll think I'm just gone. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that guy was just... Okay. Yeah. That's not my wall. Oh, I thought it was gonna tell me my rank, but it didn't. Oh, I have to go to an hour. So it means only a 2-hour stream, but I'll stream when I'm back. I might just have like a bowl of cereal. Yeah, let's see what rank. No way, I only gain like a few percent. Okay, I don't want to play Fortnite. It's just like once you get to the point where it's like you lose so much off spawn, and then you like lose, and then you gain. I was at like 8%, so I gained like 6% that game. Like, how long was that game to play? To only gain 6%. Like, I don't even know what to play. I guess I could play the finals. But, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just like so slow gaining percent. Okay, we have to update the finals, so I guess we'll hop back onto YouTube. Actually, hold up. I'm gonna go make a bowl of cereal. I'll be right back. Okay. My game is still updating. It's at 53%. So. Let's play. Or let's watch. Wait, what are these buffs? Noise interface was not up. I haven't played Deadlock in so long.
If we don't clean up our own house, we'll be wishing for troubadour-sized problems.
How come I get you on my team and you're not running the Abrams, bro?
They know with my Ash? Ah, Ash OP?
Can't forget to buy gear. Little protection goes a long way.
Could be a good Scourge game. Silva, Van, Bebop.
Who needs a gun? Thank you.
I see Infernus.
Calico's missing. No. Thank you.
Wait. The changes were to his ult, right? Not
Ones.
Number 141. Oh, yeah. Slice and dice. Oh, okay. So this is his dash. And this is ult.
Oh, impact damage, he dies there, by the way.
Mm.
I see silver.
I'm coming, my kitten.
The finals is launching. Hold on, we can get on and see if I want to play, but I don't know if I want to play the finals. Like, I don't know. There's like no games like fun right now. Like, I just can't wait for the grounded update. But that's in like August. It's like August 11th, right? Yeah, June, July, August, September. September 9th is my first day. Or September 8th is my first day. Someone's have all of July and August. Oh. Why is it taking so long? Bro, my like jaw is like sore because I was chewing gum like all day. Yo, it's my stream. Ruby? Why? Okay, hold on. What, Ruby? Ruby. Give Ruby down litter. Okay, bro, I'm actually just gonna close the finals because it's not opening. Look, I almost just wanna apply for a job right now. Do I have anything good in my watch later? Nope. There's actually just nothing to watch. Like, that's the thing, is I don't want to like pick up another game and start playing it, because like I feel like I already have been playing so much, like Fortnite finals. But then again, it's like summer break, so I can just play like 10 different games. I could probably watch this one. Oh, interesting. Tell us why. I've already watched it. Why is seasonal arena so?
The future of human longevity starts here. Introducing the Hume Band 2.0, the world's first longevity band, now with next-generation clinical-grade sensors for even higher precision, with 14 days of battery life.
Welcome back to the second channel, my dudes, and today we will be talking about why seasonal arenas flopped and why they are really forgettable. Alright, let's go to game number 1. I have like 480 trophies, which is a perfect number in terms of like multiplications of 30. That's because I didn't lose a single game. So I won like 18 games in a row. The next game I would go to the next arena and we would see the effect of the card banning thing that they kind of like... That was the whole gimmick of the seasonal arenas. And the thing is, I have not seen a single person talk about seasonal arenas ever since like this season started. Maybe other people in the more casual side of the game are talking about it, but I have never...
Yeah, but I think that's the thing, is that like I think the majority of the players just play Trophy Road to get to the end, right? 10,000 is it 10,000 trophies? And then, you know, they either stop or they go up to get their like rank ticket and then just play ranked. I don't think anyone really ever is like, I want to get the most trophies and get to the end of Trophy Road.
Seen anyone talk about it. Neither, not Reddit, not Twitter, not... Oh my god. Hold on. That's stupid Goblin Barrel. Okay, so, I mean, people are playing random decks or some sort of something that is kind of like close to that level of bullshit. Yeah, and it's like, why are they very forgettable? This is a very good question, and it's like, we want to think about what the casual player thinks of arenas and what Trophy Road means to them. A lot of the times, casual players would just... Now, this is taken kind of like from other people, like let's say, for example, from Invader and like the other people. They say whenever they see someone in public, they kind of like, the moment they know they play Clash Royale, they immediately ask, what arena are you in? Now, the reason I'm not talking about myself is because I don't go outside, so I have no idea what people say. Like, I don't talk to humans, basically.
1 second. Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
And it's funny because like when they ask you what arena are you in, and you just don't play arenas because you know that's like kind of where the doo-doo players are, and the people just
Well, I think just because most Clash Royale players are like low arenas, so it makes sense to say, oh, arena 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to like whatever. Right, because most of them hopped on last summer when it was like popular.
that really suck at the game. It just becomes a little weird because what are you gonna tell them? I play ranked. It's like they're gonna be like, "What's ranked? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're speaking about." And it just like gets a little bit weird and awkward.
Every person born in was chipped up, limiting how we feel, how we think. You felt what the system decided you should feel, nothing more. Then came the incident. An EMP. A big one.
And you know, when conversations like this feel a little kind of, you know, when they feel like they are distant from one another and stuff like that, it just, people will talk less about Clash when stuff like this are the common, basically. Oh. That is, oh my god, that's, Evo's app was so sexy. Oh my god. So yeah, it's like, in the previous system, people usually just said stuff like, oh, let's throw that Evo's. Nice prediction. So people were like, what arena are you in? How many trophies do you have? And because the ranked and the trophy road were the same system, you would just say, I could say 7,200 trophies, and people would be like, holy shit, oh my god, you're so cracked. Alright, that's the new arena. Now, I cannot play my giant double prince deck. I prepared this deck to play because, I don't know, I feel like playing it. So, yeah.
I just think that, like, it's good, but I don't know if it's good that it's, like, forcing you to use different cards. I mean, it's kind of cool and it's, like, a challenge, whatever, but, like, I feel like some cards should have more than one use, like skeletons and ice spirits. They're so common, you know, like cycle cards. Of course, ice spirit you could put out for like electro spirit, fire spirit, stuff like that. But like skeletons, like so many decks use skeletons. Plus, there's also the thing of like, what if I just want to play graveyard decks, right? Because I mean graveyard pretty much. I play a little bit of like minor wall breakers, minor poison, but like I mostly play graveyard. Right, it would be cool if I could be like, oh, I'm gonna get to this arena with graveyard cycle with furnace and cycle cards, and then next one I'll do graveyard freeze with bowler and zappies, and right, because all those two decks don't have any identical cards except for graveyard. Right, so maybe they could have win conditions be like an exception or something, because like, you know what I mean? It's like, what if I just want to play my one win condition?
Like I was saying, it's a little bit, it just becomes weird when the language between multiple layers of players are, it's kind of like very different. And it discourages conversations that are surrounding the game, and that kind of does contribute to the game being a little bit less popular and stuff like that. So that arena system flopping is not a good thing for them. I'm pretty sure they are upset about that and are not happy with it. I also think it's like, when they split ranked and like this trophy road thing, people are, the tryhard players are not going to be playing trophy road. They're not going to be talking about it like on YouTube, for example, and things like that. Oh god, he has tornado.
Like, I mean, I'm not to the point where I'm playing ranked yet or in seasonal arenas, but I think if I I've already been trying to unlock ranked for a while, but I think that's what I'll do because seasonal arena is like fun, but it seems more like another game mode than seasonal arenas. I mean, it's more unique than like past seasonal arenas because past seasonal arenas were just like, oh, you can keep climbing, keep getting rewards, but it's just normal. Like it's just normal trophy road. You know what I mean? But I think like they've had the ultimate goal be like ranked for so long, and because ranked is like the gateway to competitive, right? If you get top 1,000 or whatever, then you get like a ticket to the monthly finals. I think that it's just like, well, it's set up so that only casual players will play the seasonal arenas. You know what I mean? Because right now, when I like play Clash, I either play Trophy Road, right when I'm at the gym, and I'm like pretty locked in thinking about the game. But if I don't want to like think about the game, I just go to like the 1v1s, like classic 1v1s where everything's level 11. You get to choose your deck. Like that thing. So, you know what I mean? But I think, you know, like if I did have ranked unlocked, then I'd play ranked at the gym. And then I'd play Trophy Road probably at school or whatever, where I'm not locked in, you know, and not trying my hardest. You know, because I think that's one thing that's good about Clash is that there's like competitive. You can play competitively and like use a meta deck and think about what you're doing. And then you can also just play like classic, whatever, like casual game modes and like events and stuff where you don't need to think. You know, and like if I lose a classic 1v1, it doesn't really matter. Versus on Trophy Road, it's like, oh, now I need to get another win to get back.
I clicked the level up ability and just it did not really work. I would say the gimmick of banning a bunch of cards is nice, but I don't think it's nice enough for me to care about this game mode. Like the only reason I'm playing it is because of content. Straight up deadass, before this video I was like at maybe 200 trophies in this seasonal arena thing. And it's because like I really didn't care about playing it. I have a lot of game modes to play. I have Princess Gambit to play. I also have you know, like there are a lot of stuff for me to do, and it's like this seasonal arena thing is the last thing that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But when
playing games on PC, do you ever wonder if someone had a clip with you in it? Download Metal, then go to Albums, clips are in.
It's like the main game mode, and it's like the main ranked game mode, and the main thing that people will be talking about. You could just technically, you will see a lot of people on YouTube discussing how to get the most trophies, quote unquote, and stuff like that, and it would just make it a more universal experience, if you get what I mean. That's my take on why it's a dead game mode. Now, I could definitely be wrong. I mean, I'm not like some economy guy or, you know, I basically, like, this is not my area of expertise. Oh, that E-drag is like something, but at the same time, it's like, do I really care? Hit the juiciest rocket of my life, and then go on this with the mini P.E.K.K.A. Just try to kill the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the healer. That is, yeah, he just gave up. He knows it's over. He knows it's cooked. He knows it's fried chicken. We'll just do this so we can try to stall his tornado. I guess he just gives up, basically. Yay, 3 crown, cool. Oh, speaking of Queen Gambit, I didn't really play much the previous week. I did play 2 hours today before the season ended. And I was unranked, basically. I had like no ranking when I played. But I finished kind of like top 2,600 something. And it's like that wasn't as good as I hoped to get, but at the same time, it's like, it's man, whatever. I don't really care that much about the. Oh God! Wait. Oh my! Don't. Oh, that's. Oh my God! That was so close. He's gonna goblin barrel, and I'm gonna get fucked. Yeah. That wasn't as bad as I expected. So as I was saying, I played like 2 hours, got
Clash in the Big 26, bro.
2,688.
It's still such a good game.
And I kind of like regret that. Sometimes I get this feeling. Does anyone get this feeling where you play, for example, for a few hours, you don't even get in a position that you were hoping for, and at the same time, it's like, to me, I wish I continued. I used like these 2 hours on editing the video on the main channel. So like basically, I did post like yesterday, I think, that there is something that kind of like slowed down the process of releasing that new main channel video. Yeah, that thing was fixed. So shout out to the guy that fixed it. I'm not gonna like specifically say what it is. Maybe I would say it later, but it's like right now I'm not gonna talk about it.
Why is it so like secret?
Yeah, so I just started working on my video, and right now I'm like halfway there. I don't think I would be able to get it out today, but I might be able to get it out tomorrow. So that's like the plan here. I could have gotten it out today if I didn't waste my time on the Princess Gambit, but at the same time, it's like, I treated this as a final goodbye for that game mode because I think it's gonna be gone. Dude, like, how deep are you gonna put that barrel? Come on.
I just don't know what to do. Like, what is happening to my YouTube? What? Why is it all the way down here? I guess it's. I get started. Go car thieves. Yo, join call. Okay. Join the call. Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, you might have seen when popular Twitch streamer Jason the Ween had his car stolen using this weird-looking device during an actual live stream.
The car got stolen. I'm not even trolling, bro.
Now, a lot of people accused him of faking it for views.
And the gates are open?
It's almost as if this was an inside job. A lot of people are saying it's fake.
This is real, bro. The keys are right here.
But after doing research into what device the thieves were using, I was intrigued. So I decided to track down the criminals myself, using footage from his neighbor's camera, which captured the license plate of the getaway car, which gave me an address that had the same exact getaway car parked out front. And then after matching the identical backpack and shoes from the security footage, I was able to identify the thief. And that identity confirmed for sure Jason had no idea about any of this,
bro.
And his reaction was 100% real.
They stole your car!
Because the thief was none other than me. And by the way, he still has no idea it was me. Well, I suppose now he does. Hi, Jason! And this means his car was just one of 500,000 cars that are stolen every year using the same method you might have seen in clips like this. And this. Where thieves are coming up to doors with these weird things.
Oh my god, he has that device.
So we reverse engineered the ultimate car theft device using just a couple $100 worth of parts, slapped
What
into
is it?
a
Is it like a
20-year-old baby
4.0?
monitor. And along the way, we discovered a super simple trick that costs literally a penny that will not only protect you from our ultimate car theft device, but from every single one of these as well. Oh, and Jason, if you're watching this video right now, in a bit of a bad news first approach, after we pretend stole your car and left it parked on the street, these guys came by and for real stole your car.
We got fully space for all of us.
Which took us down a deep rabbit hole of why
Oh,
a car
wait,
is stolen
so-
every
Wait, so there's a guy who stole Jason Levine's car, which was actually Mark Rober, and then, well, Mark Rober had stolen his car. I don't even get on 4 to the finals, but I'm getting on call right now. And then someone stole the car from Mark Rober.
48 seconds in America, who's behind this, and what they do with all these stolen cars. But more on that later. Now, my descent into a fleeting life of crime started when I first noticed this video online, which I originally thought was fake. But after a very brief amount of research, I realized it was in fact very real and nowhere near an isolated incident, because across the world, this technique is used to steal a car once every single minute. Now granted, some of those thefts are smoother than others, but this technique is so effective that even if you smash through one gate, then hit a tree, then hit another tree, and smash through another gate, you'll still be able to make a clean getaway. So we analyzed every single video we could find online to see if we could pick up some clues. And what we learned is it always involves 2 people, where one stays by the car and the other comes up to the front of the house with some kind of electronic device. But what made it so effective is it took an average of only 30 seconds to steal the car without a single car alarm ever being triggered. And this was a far cry from what a lot of people envision when it comes to stealing a car. Because in Hollywood, all you gotta do is use a thin piece of metal with a hook at the end called a Slim Jim.
Always wanted to do this.
Which you slide in here, then hook this part of the lock and push down, which rocks this teeter-totter thing, which pushes up on this rod to unlock the door. And once you're inside, you simply reach underneath, rip out a bunch of wires, and if you connect the right ones, congratulations, you have successfully hotwired a car. I'm so hardcore. But unfortunately for car thieves, in the 90s, automakers added metal shielding above the latch mechanisms to block the Slim Jim attacks, and then when simple ignition wires were replaced with a sophisticated ECU computer to control the engine, hot wiring became obsolete. But car thieves weren't about to take an early retirement, so a few years later, if you just got yourself some locksmith tools off Amazon for $21, you could bypass the door lock security measures entirely by inflating a little airbag, giving you just enough room to slide in what is effectively a beefed up coat hanger to simply manually pop the lock from inside.
That was like 20 seconds.
Then once you're inside, in the case of Kias made between 2011 and 2022, you just remove 3 screws, pop off the steering column cover, snap off the ignition cylinder, then slide the reverse end of your charging cable right onto that little metal hub.
It's a simple turn.
Wow.
Start the car.
That's actually crazy.
And I should point out, the bad guys already know all this, so the main purpose of this video...
Wait, so does that only work against Kias, or is that the only one you can, like, start?
Guys, aka you. Because security through obscurity is one of the weakest forms there is. So if you own a Kia made between 2011 and 2022, just make sure you have the latest free software...
Gifting suspended, live visibility restricted. Reproductive content. What?
Update from the dealer, because that will stop the car from starting unless the doors were recently unlocked by the key fob. As you'd expect, there's sort of a constant arms race between car thieves and car makers. So for modern cars, after it's locked with the key fob, if you manually unlock or open the door from the inside, the alarm will go off and immobilize the car even if you did manage to make it in. And the other engine starting hacks no longer work either, which meant I need to rely on more modern techniques. AKA, I need to get my hands on one of those looping electronic devices.
Because what does that do? Does that, like, simulate the key fob somehow? Well, because it's weird, because you need to be like, why do they always go up to the door and do it? What?
Just go pick up at your local Best Buy, I would need to venture into some pretty sketchy corners of the dark web. And out of everyone here at Crunch Labs, there's exactly only one person, extensive experience crawling around the internet's seedy digital underbelly.
Hey, is your work-life balance maybe not so great? Brutal commute, chained to a desk all day, or maybe you travel...
Hey Mark, Can I help you with something?
Ian, what even is the dark web?
An encrypted version of the internet that you access through a special browser called Tor.
And, like, you have Tor? And Ian did not disappoint, because 12 minutes later, we found a website ran by a dude named Dimitri.
It's like a repeat.
Claimed for the low price of $12,000 worth of Bitcoin, we could have our very own car stealing device, which was apparently called a relay attack. But this raised a lot of thorny legal questions, which was a problem for Crunch Lab's lawyer Bill. Find a device that could mimic anybody's key for any car. Is that legal?
Can you like tell me a little bit more about this device?
Not really.
You can't use it to steal a car, but technically you can own it.
That would be legal.
Why do you even?
Thanks, Bill. And with that great news in hand,
I mean,
immediately connected with Dimitri on Telegram, and the following conversation actually occurred. Hello.
Yes. Just have to go over a few things. Okay.
Well.
Okay, hello?
I also have to like go to like my like step cousin's like grad party thing.
My
And I have to
like,
be there
midday.
by 1:30.
Okay, so that is like, wait, you have to leave your house at 1:30 or it is at 1:30?
I don't know. My dad said like be there by 1:30.
Oh, which means you have to leave like now.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean? I don't understand what you're.
Why, bro? Don't worry. How many years in your 30s?
Are you trying to figure out my age?
No. Answer the question. How many years have you been involved with the United States government?
I don't work for the government. 0.
What is your security research company name?
What?
Will your commanding officer going to say when this is a scam?
I don't have one. I'm just a dude. I'm trying to buy this thing from you.
Да, смешно. Just a dude, huh? Final answer?
Yes, that's my final answer. What? I assumed that meant he thought I was the feds and we were back to square one. But then a few days later, I got this message from him with just a crypto wallet and the address I wanted it shipped to. So obviously, I immediately yoloed him $12,000 in crypto, and just this morning, this arrived. Well, at first I was excited to assume the mantle of Dark Web MKBHD, beautiful camo bag. I then remembered, I should probably be careful with this. I had no idea what was actually in this thing, and it could be much worse than a glitter bomb. This is kind of nerve-wracking. Okay. At least something works. But instead of glitter and fart spray, I was greeted with all the promised equipment and even bullet-pointed instructions. It's an interesting choice. So Ian and I gave it a chance to unlock a car door with a pair of keys that was just barely out of range. All right, so this is connecting that key fob to this car. And yes, at first, it gave us a bit of a scare. Bro.
Try changing your channel.
We saw that with a little finagling, it could appear to be a huge waste of 12 grand. Did you keep the receipt? Wait, until it wasn't.
All right.
But now we also have to turn the car on. This is taking way longer than the news clips.
Just keep trying.
Dimitri comes through! We would be the worst criminals ever. There'd be like 13 police cars by now. It had taken us 7 minutes to start the car when the key was only a few feet away, whereas real thieves can pick a random suburban home and start the car in as little as 15 seconds. So we decided to run a field test and see if we could use it to steal an actual bona fide suburban car. Ready? And of course, we didn't expect to pull this off within 15 seconds, but we figured if we were able to start the car—
I can see the keys.
—without anyone calling the cops on us—
There's a neighbor. There's a neighbor. Just be cool.
How's it going? Have a good one.
then we'd chalk it up as a win. But the crucial factor was at the very least, we'd have to unlock the car.
Why isn't it working?
And at this point, I was pretty sure Dimitri had scammed us. But to understand why I was pretty sure Dimitri had scammed us, you first need to understand how a car key fob works to wirelessly and passively unlock and start a car. car. Because a parked car is constantly whispering out 4 times a second, "Is my key there? Is my key there?" And when the key gets close enough to hear that specific whisper, it yells back, "It's me! I'm here!" And if it yells the correct secret password, the car will open up and turn on. And it might seem weird that the car whispers why the key yells, but a yelling key is exactly what you want. So if you're far away, you can still deactivate the alarm or lock the doors. And a whispering car is perfect because you'd only want your car to passively unlock and turn on if the key was super close. So the way the old Russian jumpstart works is it's basically a microphone that listens for that quiet car whisper and then uses a bunch of complicated and expensive parts to transmit that whisper through the air to the other device, which is essentially a speaker with an antenna that uses even more complicated parts to receive and then crank up the volume of that whisper and then blast it into the house. And so
said hello,
inside
females.
the house, here's that familiar start the car even though the car is really far away. And given all that, I was pretty sure at this point either the microphone or the speaker part of Dimitri's device was essentially unusable.
Bro,
Nothing.
yeah.
And mere moments before we were ready to give up,
No, I'm watching Mark Rober
our
now.
fortunes changed. Thanks, Bill.
A lot of people ask what I've been up to since high school.
Hold up.
Honestly, nothing good.
Oh, hold up. I'm gonna go ask when I need to leave. Right back. Okay, I have to go in like 5 minutes. Yes. Then when I come back, we can play it. Probably like a few hours. Okay, bye, stream.